following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Television. Together, serving education.
Hey, I just got back from the Green River. Want to hear about it?
More than anything.
Well, the first day we went fishing. And you know what? We went down the rapids in an inflatable raft.
Sounds like a busy day. Going fishing and going down the rapids?
No, we went down the rapids 2 days later. I only brought it up because I had fun. Once I went down the rapids and I got sick.
So you went down the rapids twice? Once you got sick and once you liked it?
No, we went down the rapids once on this vacation and I had fun.
I thought you got sick.
No, that was last summer.
This sounds like an altogether confusing vacation.
Funny, it didn't seem that way till I started explaining it.
Maybe it was the story that was confusing. Have you ever tried to tell people something and then have them say, "We don't follow you"? You see, speaking and writing are somewhat like leading people somewhere. If you lead well, they'll be able to follow. But if you're disorganized, they may get lost. Now, just as there are any number of ways to organize a journey, a vacation, say, there are also any number of ways to organize the story of that vacation. Let's take that same outing to Green River and try organizing it different ways.
Our vacation was great. On the first day, we went fishing. On the second day, we went hiking. On the third day, we went down the rapids. On the fourth day, we went downtown because my little sister broke the night lamp and we had to get a new one. On the fifth day, we went to go get ice.
Rita's description is easy to follow. She's telling us the story in chronological order, in the order that things happened. First, second, third, and so on.
Our vacation was great. I like going down the river best. Next best, I like hiking. We went water skiing. Didn't like that too much.
Same story, only this time Scott organized it in the order of things he liked. I liked this best, that next best.
Our vacation was great, better than last year's. This year we went down the rapids. Last year we went down the rapids too, but last year I got sick.
Joyce is comparing and contrasting this vacation to the one she took last year. That is, she's telling us how the two trips were alike and how they were different. The same vacation to Green River told 3 different ways. Each one fairly easy to follow because each had an organization. As we said, there are any number of ways to organize a message, an essay, a report, a speech, but these are 3 of the most common ways. Describing events in chronological order, in order of importance, or by comparing things or events. The important thing to remember is the idea of organization. An organized message is always going to be easier to understand. Now let's consider something different from a vacation story. Let's say something like a newspaper. Well, not exactly a newspaper, it's a news bulletin, published once a week by Mrs. Dockstetter's 5th period English class. It's called The Weekly Bulldog and usually comes out on Friday afternoon. Here is the staff of the Weekly Bulldog, going through what they seem to go through every week, which is
figuring out where to put things in the paper. Scott! I don't care what you say. The bull constructor got loose, and It's not constructor, it's constrictor. Boa constrictor. What, do you think they build buildings or something? I don't care. I don't really care. But a snake got loose in a teacher's class. That's funny. It's great. It belongs on the first page. It's the story of the year.
But it happened 2 days ago. It's old news.
Yeah, but it's the story of the whole year.
Today's news is what's hot. Today's news belongs on the front page.
And what about the gossip column? Do you know how many kids have broken up this week? Stop it, Scott.
Ouch. Okay, we'll put today's news on the first page and the snake story on the second page.
Yeah, but if we put today's news on page 1, shouldn't we put yesterday's news on page 2? And so on, back through the week?
Yeah.
That means the snake story is going to go on page 4?
She's right.
As much as you hate to admit it.
Besides, nothing happened yesterday. I think for this week we should just skip yesterday and go on to the day before that.
Wait a minute. Slave Day was yesterday.
And what about letters to the editor?
Letters to the editor?
Read it. Dear editor, the Weekly Bulldog is the most confusing paper I've ever tried to read. For example, I like to read your movie reviews, but I never know where to find them.
What?
Obviously a malcontent.
Maybe it could be organized better. Should we print this?
Yeah, sure, but this person's dead wrong.
What page?
4.
Wait, if you want to organize this in a sort of reverse chronological order with the most recent events first, then this letter that just came in belongs on page 1.
But I don't like that letter. In fact, take it off page 4 and put it on page 5. That's how much I don't like it.
Well, organizing by personal preference, putting information you like best on the front page and information you like least on the last page, is still another way to organize the paper. But does that really fulfill the goal of a newspaper? Even a newspaper like the Weekly Bulldog? Purpose is something to consider when you're choosing a way to organize your message. And the more important the information, the more important organization becomes.
Here. Okay. We have a critically injured patient coming in, and the most important thing we want to check when the patient arrives is that the airway is open. The next thing we want to check is that the patient's breathing okay, that his chest hasn't been severely injured.
Bob Cockrell is an emergency room doctor. Every day he communicates very important information.
In the medical profession, it's very important that your thoughts be organized when you're communicating with both the patients and the nurses, because you can't really afford to have any mistakes in medicine because lives are at stake. First thing that I want you to do when you get home is to put cold packs on your shoulder and leave them there intermittently for 24 or 36 hours. Then it's going to be real important to change over to heat. Heat will help reduce the swelling that's been built up. And then I want you to start doing range of motion exercises with your shoulder in the sling so that it doesn't get stiff. Sometimes when you're talking to a patient, it's important to organize your thoughts in terms of what the patient is to do first, and then second and third. Other times it's important to establish priorities, what's most important for the patient to be doing. There are times when it's necessary to communicate to other doctors and to make priorities clear to that other physician as well. So it's very important to have your thoughts clearly in mind and what aspect of your patient you want to communicate.
So let's take the 3 organizational patterns we've talked most about: chronological, order of importance, comparing and contrasting, and apply them to another type situation. Now remember, one of the things that has to be done is to determine the purpose of the message. What about a speech?
Before the entire student body.
Oh, please.
620.
Oh, please.
Or 690. I always forget.
Will you cut that out? I'm nervous enough as it is.
What's the purpose of the speech?
What?
I don't know, it just came to me.
Oh, well, the purpose of the speech is to convince everybody to vote for me for student body president.
Well, maybe you should tell everyone, step by step, what you do when you're president.
No, I don't think there's time for all that. The speech can only last 5 minutes.
Well, what is some of the stuff that you'd like to do in order of importance?
Well, most important is I want to keep the schoolyard open after school. And almost as important is continuing noon dances.
Gee, that sounds just like the stuff that your opponent wants to do.
Killer Stockton?
Yeah. If I were to listen to your speech, I'd want to know the difference between you and Killer.
Hey, that's good. That's the way I'll organize the speech. I'll compare the both of us. There are several things we both want to do, but there are also several differences.
For instance?
Well, we both want to keep the schoolyard open, but he has never served on the student council, while I've served on it for 3 years. Now, who has a better chance of working it through the system?
You, of course. This is a great way to organize your speech. What about this? Both you and Killer are okay people. but you're intellectual opposites.
What do you mean?
Well, you're intellectual and Killer is opposite.
We better not say that. Let's see, a better way to say is we both have different priorities.
Yeah, that's safer. You know Killer.
Yeah.
That worked out pretty well. Rita decided that comparing and contrasting would be best for her. But what about the Weekly Bulldog? I wonder if they've been able to decide on some sort of organization for their paper. Let's see, if I remember correctly, one good idea was to organize the Bulldog by putting the most recent news on the front page and then working backwards.
That's right. Friday's news on page 1, Thursday's on page 2, and Wednesday's on page 3. Sort of reverse chronological order.
And Sally, you wanted the most important story first.
Yeah, the snake escape story will go on page 1. And let's say a story about someone's broken shoelace on page 5.
Which one did you choose?
Neither. We decided to organize by category. News about events on campus is on page 1.
Human interest stories, stories about different kids and what they are doing are on pages 2 and 3.
Editorials, letters to the editor are on page 4.
And information about what to do over the weekend, movie reviews, things like that are on page 5.
Where does that leave the boa constrictor?
Page 1, right there, with the rest of events on campus. Sally, I've been going over the snake story, and it's a little hard to follow.
What do you mean by that, Scott?
You need to organize it better. Well, you could tell us, second by second, everything that happened from the moment the snake escaped.
Or you could report the story in terms of highlights.
Yes, the most severe damage was done to Dottie Westgoggle's white mouse.
Ew.
Or you could compare it to damage done by other animals who have escaped. For instance, how does this stack up to King Kong?
I think we're making too big a deal out of this.
Well, maybe, but it does make the point. Suppose you were writing a story for a newspaper, a story about some important event. How would you organize it? Wouldn't it depend on what point you're trying to make? Would you tell the story in chronological order, step by step, as it happened? Maybe you'd want to compare it, show how things are alike in some ways and different in others. Or you could come up with a way to organize the story we haven't even talked about. The point is, an organized message will always be clearer and easier to understand than one that is not organized.
Hey, I just got back from the Green River. Want to hear about it?
More than anything.
Well, the first day we went fishing. And you know what? We went down the rapids in an inflatable raft.
Sounds like a busy day. Going fishing and going down the rapids?
No, we went down the rapids 2 days later. I only brought it up because I had fun.
On the first day, we went fishing. On the second day, we went hiking. On the third day, we went down the rapids. On the fourth day, we went downtown because my little sister broke the night lamp and we had to get a new one.
So you went down the rapids twice. Once you got sick and once you liked it?
No, we went down the rapids once on this vacation and I had fun.
I thought you got sick.
No, that was last summer.
Our vacation was great, better than last year's. This year we went down the rapids. Last year we went down the rapids too, but last year I got sick. That wasn't much fun.
This series was produced by the Tom Eberhart Company through the facilities of KRMA and KOCE-TV under the supervision of the Agency for Instructional Television.